As a child, I was born to half gypsy and half what we used to call gorger, as in ordinary. Because I was classed as half and half, it was pretty tough because the gypsy kids didn't like you because you was half gorger, and the gorger kids didn't like you because you was half gypsy. So you kind of ambled along. As you grew up, things were always against you on the gypsy side of it. They thought you were going to steal or be dishonest or do stuff like that. My mental health problems basically stem from my childhood. The abuse really was quite traumatising, and that's led to a lot of my problems now. I was going on a school trip, and normally my mother wouldn't bother even making sandwiches or getting up or doing anything. But this particular morning she presented me with this bag with sandwiches in and a drink. I was quite shocked but also cautious because she liked to play games. So I took the bag, didn't say anything, and went off on the school day. Didn't touch the sandwiches because my school teacher normally used to do it anyway. And I got home, and then I realised that the bag was still there, and then she saw it too.
You didn't eat your sandwich. You haven't eaten your sandwich.
She started screaming at me and shouting, "Why haven't you eaten the sandwiches? Why haven't you done this? Why haven't you had your drink?" So she pulled out the sandwich and out the container. I bit into it and started to eat it and realised that it was just salt. I had to eat it because she was there pushing it down my throat. And then she said, "Oh, but you haven't had a drink." So she got the drink container out, and as soon as she lifted the lid I could smell the bleach. And she grabbed hold of my head and forced a cup to my mouth, and so I just ran out the caravan and spat it out and tried to get to the tap to wash my mouth out, but it didn't stop a lot of the bleach from going down, so it's like my mouth just exploded. Like this numbness but burning as well. I left the gypsy community when I was about 19 to get married. My husband was aware of my background, but thought it would be better if we didn't tell anyone because, well, he didn't want it to interfere with what was going on. So we kind of made up a story that I wasn't from that background, and basically made up this whole piece of life that it never went on. I took an overdose, but I was admitted to an ordinary hospital. I came out and I couldn't believe it. Inside the lounge, you couldn't see the floor for flowers. It was a huge room, and they were all like making a fuss of me, which I didn't really like, but it was, it was their way. And then my mental health problems got a lot worse: eating disorder, anorexia, and a lot of self-harm, and that you feel guilty of the fact that you eat, and then you want to eat because you're hungry, but then you feel guilty. And then there's the self-harm. You go through the day and all you can think of is you want to cut because you get stressed, and then you cut because you're stressed, and then it becomes a vicious circle. Every night starting at 6 o'clock you face the battle of having flashbacks or dissociating and then cutting. And then about 4 weeks after that, I got admitted into the local psychiatric hospital. When I got released, my husband told me not to say where I'd been. No one asked any questions, no one said anything, no one did anything really. 3 years ago I started doing work with the trust. To be honest, a lot of the things I've done within the trust, I kind of amazed myself. People know now about my background. It doesn't bother them in that way, and it's quite strange really, because you see it as something shameful. I have blips, but you just got to get back up and dust yourself off and start again.